Poly rayon blend fabric with a 100% polyester lining. When it comes to details, you have a pick stitching all around the coat, plastic buttons in non-functioning sleeve cuffs, comes in a multitude of sizes and prices. This one here for a complete suit comes out for a total of $88. Hey, I'm Louis Jeremita from Aspiring Gent, and I want to talk to you about the J FERRAR suit from JCPENNYS. This is a size 38 regular, and I want to kind of break down the ins and outs of it, but not what you typically would see from other YouTubers or even just looking on their website. I want to get into the actual inside guts of the fabric and show you what you're going to be paying for. So let's get into it. So before becoming a tailor, about 3 years ago, I thought that a suit was a suit. It just mattered on the fit, didn't matter about the fabric, price, or any of that. But I couldn't have been more wrong. Finding out different fabrics and how they fit in the inside construction of a coat is so very important. So that's what I want to do. Let's flip it on over to the inside out version. Now that's more like it. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is the canvas on the inside. A lot of people are talking about glued, half canvas, full canvas. And I will admit, starting off, I thought this thing was completely 100% glued on the inside, but I came to the shocking reality that it actually has a partial horsehair canvas on the inside. It's not a full half-line canvas because it doesn't go up into the lapel or anything like that, but it does give you a little bit of structure right here in the chest, which was a great thing to find out. But underneath that, and all down the bottom is all glued. So as time goes on, you're going to start seeing rippling, wrinkling, and it kind of coming apart around the 2 to 3 year mark. So now moving on to the next part, which is talking about the inlay. What the inlay is on the fabric, as you can see here on the back, is the extra fabric on the inside that allows you to let out the coat. It's not that big of a deal if you have to take anything in, but I know a lot of people just have a little bit of girth right in the stomach area and need to let it out. This one, there's two parts that you want to look at. How much is on the lining and on the fabric. The lining had a good amount on it, not too much, but this is what I was really focused on because most companies, and what this company did as well, is they'll cut the fabric right here on the side bend, rendering it useless when it comes to letting it out because you can't do it or you'll see the rip. So leaving that only in the back part, giving us about ½ an inch max to let out on this coat, which isn't enough to get me excited about, so I probably just wouldn't do it. So when it comes to inlay, about ½ an inch letting out, I wouldn't go any further, so make sure that you're taking it in if anything. The next point that people tend to want to do on their suits is lengthening sleeves. Again, shortening is no big deal. You can have no inlay and still be able to do it, but this one does have plenty of fabric to let out, at least 3/4 of an inch with the lining. A full inch if you wanted a piece of lining on the inside, which isn't a big deal. I do it all the time. Nobody sees it and it lays smoothly. So that's canvas and lining. The other thing that I do want to mention, which is kind of talking about the outside but kind of has a lot to do with the inside as well, is the fabric on the outside. Now this is a poly rayon blend fabric, which isn't the best, but it isn't as horrible as it could be. But the one thing that I've noticed with a lot of JCPENNY suits is they have like this shine, the sheen on it that kind of almost makes it cheaper. And another thing that you should know is when you're not dealing with wool fabrics, you're going to have a lot harder time making it look smooth on your body. Even if off the rack this came custom fit to you, it still wouldn't look as good as a full wool suit would. But so that's kind of the inside makeup of this suit that I wanted to run you through. One other last thing is the shoulder pads. Not that great, nothing big there, but we're kind of moving towards a less shoulder pad culture when it comes to suits. So I kind of like that. Collar here is really easy to adjust the length on that. So as far as alterations go, not too hard on this guy unless you're trying to let it out, which I said, not going to happen. Now before we move on to the final remarks on the suit, I do want to mention that on the front here, everything is machine done. Nothing is done by hand, which isn't really shocking to most people because of how cheaply done it is. If it was done by hand, it showed more craftsmanship. But to be completely honest, I would prefer this to be machine done with the low quality of fabric and lining it's using. It's actually going to hold it a little bit better than doing it hand done, and you won't see as many mistakes. because they can use precision machinery or people who know or are in the habit of doing this. So final remarks talking about the suit. Is it worth the price tag that is given to it? And I would say yes and no. Here's why. So on paper, it wouldn't be that bad of a purchase because it comes out to about $70 for the jacket, $28, I think. No, $60 for the jacket, $28 for the pants. So you're coming out to about $88 in all for a full suit, which is extremely affordable. However, if you're wearing this, let's say it lasts about 2 years, you're going to need to buy it about 5 more times before you get the same wear out of like a $500 suit. So whereas price comparison is about the same, the quality and how good you're going to look is no match to what if you were to buy a $500 suit once rather than having to buy this 5 times. Now, if the jacket fabric itself was a lot better quality and looked better draped on you, the inside construction of this is not as horrible as I set out thinking it was going to be when I tore it apart. So I will say if you're in a pinch and you need something quick, this is an okay option to wear for a little bit, but I would not want to stay on this level of suiting for very long at all, gentlemen. It's very low quality, and it's also just part of the throwaway economy, which we don't want you to be in long term because it's not really good for different cultures who are making this as well as the environment. We want to invest in things that are quality, that'll look good, and last for a long time. So in closing, if you need something real quick to start off your professional career, totally fine if you need it for maybe a year or two, but quickly try and move up the ladder as far as suitings go. And other than that, guys, thank you for watching this. Hopefully you learned something about the JCPENNYS J FERRAR brand, a little more than you knew before, and that I gave you a little bit of a different insight than most people would have given you. If you like this, let me know by liking, sharing, or subscribing so I can make more videos like this for you. And until next time, have a great life. Alright laddies, so what I have here is a J FERRAR JCPENNY suit. And what am I going to do for you? Well, of course, I'm going to rip it open and show you what's on the inside.